What up, everybody, and welcome back to another Ty Talk. Now, today is the first edition of Ty Talk's 3 Takes. Now, 3 Takes is my new short form videos where I give you 3 takes on whatever I'm watching at the time. So hopefully you all will enjoy when I post these types of videos, and we're going to get into it. The very first one. Now, I know y'all are used to me being negative, but today, ironically, will be my 3 takes on why the season 5 premiere of Insecure was the best season premiere this show has had.
Yeah, drop that baby off. Drop that baby off. Come on. Drop the baby off. Hey, drop the baby off.
Now, before I dive into my 3 takes, we got to talk about little things really quickly, right? So I've been a fan of Issa Rae since I watched Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl back in undergrad.
What we got on?
My booty shop, bouncing in my booty shop.
So about 10 years ago now, I caught on to her first season and I was eagerly waiting for that second season of the show. Loved it. So when she came out with Insecure, I was very excited. I have been supporting watching the show, but it has not always been my favorite show. Now, one thing I realized about Insecure is that fans love it, and they love it so much that they actually hate on it a lot, in the sense of you always hear people complaining about how short the episodes are. You hear people complaining about it's only 10 episodes a season. You hear people complaining about why do it take so long for it to come back? All these different things, right? But the one thing that I could not believe I heard this time was people complaining that this season premiere of episode 5, the last season, that the episode wasn't good. And quite honestly, that really just blew my mind. So I'm talking about the 3 reasons on why I think it was the best season premiere this show has had. My number 1 take, Kelly. So for 4 seasons, we have watched Kelly's character basically only be a punchline on this show. She has had no depth, no character development, no real story, right? And in this one episode in season 5, not only did they start the episode with her, she was the first character we saw on screen. You really, by the end of that episode, Kelly had more depth. You had saw who Kelly thinks of herself, what other people think of her, more than she had gotten that in 4 seasons of a show. You got all of it in short 20-something minutes. So Kelly finally gets some character development. It's my first take. Take number 2. Now, there have been a lot of times when I watched the show when I felt like in an episode, in a group of episodes, in a season, where I don't feel like nothing really happened, where there was not an arc for the characters that I can find or even relate to a pinpoint or some growth for the characters or a storyline that moved them from place to place. Yeah. So, for the fact that I saw in this first episode of this last season an arc for Issa's and Molly's relationship in one episode, it just blew my mind. I was like, this is so good. So where Molly and Issa started this episode, you got the remnants of what being in conflict with each other for the entire 4th season and finally trying to come together in the end of the episode where they were at and where that left them. So they were a little uneasy with each other. They were communicating, they were interacting, but with some uneasiness. So to see, like Molly take the extra steps to kind of connect with Issa, to her expressing to Kelly the feeling of, is it going to get back to normal, to them sitting, kind of walking and having that lunch together and like getting into the depths of stuff they hadn't talked about in a while, to the point of Molly like encouraging Issa, like all of that, to really accumulating and them busting out laughing in the car together after they got robbed. Like their relationship had an arc in just this episode, And that is my second take on why this was the best season premiere this show has had. And my number 3 take. So, the last season didn't really end on a cliffhanger, but it did leave all of us wondering, how is Issa's and Lawrence's relationship going to survive after they find out that Condoleezza was pregnant? Now, you came into this episode and they barely even talked about Lawrence. You didn't see him to the very end. I don't even feel like Issa talked about him. So for them to bring Lawrence in at the end so you can see, the viewer saw that, oh, they were actually still together. Issa has been with him this entire time. And then for her to end the relationship, to answer that question for the fans in the very first episode of the season, I loved it. I loved it. And that is the third take. And the reason why I think the season 5 premiere, the last season of Insecure, has been the best and was the best season premiere that this show Insecure has had. And I am now eagerly looking forward to the rest of this season. So that is the end of my first Top Talks 3 takes. I kind of loved it. It was kind of quick, in and out. I'm ready to do these all day now. Hopefully you can support. And then if talking about Insecure is something that you want me to do more, comment, and maybe I'll do a longer Top Talks review on Insecure at some point, maybe halfway through the season, maybe at the end of the season. I would love to hear your thoughts. What did you think about the first episode? Did you think it was boring? Did you enjoy it? Do you disagree or agree with any of my takes? Let me know in the comments below. Thank y'all for watching.